Hey, it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio. We're out in Colorado Springs, Colorado today. Big football game tomorrow, Army versus Air Force. And we have a chance to talk to a U.S. Army officer who serves at Fort Carson, and that is Lt.Col Ryan Cutchin. Colonel, good to see you today. Big weekend coming up.
Absolutely, Ken. Great to see you. It's going to be a real big weekend, and we're all excited about it, especially for the 4th Infantry Division in Fort Carson.
Absolutely. We've heard a lot about that famous unit of the United States Army. Tell us a little bit about the 4th Infantry and its home at Fort Carson.
Sure thing. Yeah, so the 4th Infantry Division, the thing that makes that, I would say, the most special division in the Army is it's really the only balanced division in the Army, capable of providing any amount of infantry armor, capabilities, and support of national defense. So we're not only representing everything that we can provide from a combat land component perspective, but also representing the fine, outstanding soldiers of America's, I guess, greatest population.
Absolutely, and Fort Carson is a very important base for the U.S. Army. A lot of activity there. In fact, we know that some soldiers are in the Olympic training program there. That one of them that we've met. Tell us a little bit about your base.
That's right. So we also host the world-class athlete program. So we have a lot of Olympic hopefuls. We have the all-Army team stationed at Fort Carson. I think the one thing that gives the advantage of having that is, of course, the elevation. But the amount of training that we do here, both for the world-class athlete program and the training that we do here for soldiers, is unlike anywhere else that you'll find in the United States.
Absolutely, and Fort Carson's got to be like a city. My parents lived at Fort Hood years ago, and some other Army bases. What is it like for the many military families that live at Fort Carson?
I'm going to extol its virtues. I've been been assigned to quite a many different installations throughout my 24 years. But I will tell you that Fort Carson, for families and soldiers alike, has top-notch facilities, some of the best programs that we have in the country. We continue to win Army Excellence Awards throughout all processes and systems like MWR, the Army Quality of Life program, Soldier for Life program. We have so many different opportunities, both during their career and post-career, that it's unlike anything I've seen before.
Very good. And you mentioned Fort Carson's the home of the 4th Infantry Division. Tell us, if you would, about the history of that very important part of the U.S. Army.
Oh, outstanding. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. So one of the things that makes this weekend so special is the 4th Infantry Division will officially turn 100 years old in a little over a month from now, December 10th. So we activated December 10th of 1917, and this weekend, when we play Air Force here at Falcon Stadium, we will be honoring that 100 years of service by having a display that ranges from soldiers in era-specific dress from World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and also representing Iraq and Afghanistan, and displaying some of the current equipment that we have. So again, 100 years of service, what a great weekend to display that and celebrate it.
And Lt.Col Cutchin, tell us a little bit about your career service in the U.S. Army. Why did you originally decide to join the Army?
Well, Ken, I originally enlisted back in 1993. At the time, I was searching kind of for myself, a self-identity I think a lot of people can relate to. I looked at a lot of different options. The Army was the best one. I enlisted. I served several years. I made the rank of sergeant. And at that time, I pursued my career in OCS, graduated from an officer candidate school at Fort Benning, Georgia in 1998. And as they say, here I am, now. So I've enjoyed it.
Tell us a little bit about your role in Civil Affairs at Fort Carson.
Sure. So one thing that Civil Affairs does, especially at the division level, is we really help kind of galvanize the community in support of events such as this, such as the Air Force game. We do a lot with the local leaders, with a lot of the Military Affairs Council and the people that support Fort Carson and the soldiers that comprise it. So I work directly with those people day in, day out. I work very closely with protocol and very closely with public affairs, and really to kind of paint the picture for what Fort Carson, and specifically the 4th Infantry Division, provides to the great residents of Colorado Springs.
Absolutely, and Coach Munkin always says he appreciates when soldiers come out to see the Black Knights play on the road. I guess you're going to have quite a few soldiers and fans from Fort Carson coming over to cheer on the Army Black Knights against Air Force.
We sure are. We're expecting a big turnout tomorrow morning. We're hoping the weather's going to remain like this. It's going to be a great day, and as they say, go Army.
Absolutely. Well, they say go Army, beat Air Force this week. Lt.Col Ryan Cutchin, great to see you. And from all of us at the American Legion, thank you for your service to our country.
Ken, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. God bless you.
Absolutely great to see you. This is Ken Kraetzer in Colorado Springs, Colorado for Sons of the American Legion Radio.